gentlemen, on behalf of Holy Name High School and the Holy Name Marching Band, we hope you enjoyed our show and we thank you for your support. Save the nation! We throw it with Pregame! Go! Proud to present 2021 edition of Marching Nights under the direction of Brian W. Ross and Michael Pula. Major advisor is Susan Cheney. Senior captain is Ashley Tate. Field commanders are Senior Michaela Lau and Megan Westbrook. Tonight the band will be doing a collection of songs from the season, including Stronger by Kelly Clarkson, Bang by AJR, and Levitating by Dua Lipa, featuring a dance created by the senior band members in the class of 2022.
Since 1974, Simonson has helped their clients stay on target to meet the goals and deadlines for their projects. From concept to completion, Simonson can design a plan and build a path for success. Let Simonson Construction turn that vision into a reality. James One Incorporated, providing innovative workshops and training for school districts throughout Ohio. We specialize in the areas of cultural awareness and sensitivity, dangers of teen substance abuse, and more. Call today and schedule your first session. First in promoting excellence through quality professional development.
Welcome back to Northwest High School here in Canal, Fulton, Ohio. Halftime right now of the Division III Region 10 Championship. And undefeated West Holmes came in tonight, 13-0 sparkling record. They're on top of Holy Name, 24-14. Nice performance by the Knights, showing why they're the number 2 seed. I'm Brian Skronsky, joined by Effie James, and we're going to welcome Travis Berardi into the mix as we will bring up the halftime stats here in just a second. And statistically speaking, we thought it would be the 2 running backs, Travis, that would be the stars. And so far, they're shining the brightest from these 2 teams.
Yeah, we'll start off with Holy Name. Sanchez, 10 carries, 71 yards and a touchdown, but most of those yards coming off of that 30-yard touchdown run. On the other side, Sam Williams-Dixon doing what he has done all season long, 15 carries, 109 yards, 2 touchdowns, one of them coming on a 44-yard run. And then also the quarterback from Holy Name, he has a 36-yard touchdown run. So it's been a game of big plays by both sides in this first half.
And typically explosive plays are what determine outcomes. And even though West Holmes was not the beneficiary of what we thought was a clear fumble and a recovery by them, they did have another special teams play that set them up at the 3-yard line, and they cashed in, Effie. So the turnovers were your big key to the game for Holy Name tonight, and right now they're a little bit behind in that department.
Well, and that special teams turnover was huge, and it set up West Holmes just inside the 10-yard line, and those type of mistakes. And right now it's about those small things that have made even though the big plays have led to scores, it's the small things that have really made the big difference in this game. And I am super impressed with both the running backs from both schools. Sanchez has proven to be a strong power runner, and Williams-Dixon is as advertised, unbelievable. And I like the way that Coach Gardner and his staff are able to use him and spread him out, put him into the backfield, give it to him on jet sweeps. They're throwing it to him on screens. So they are maxing him out as a player, really doing a great job of getting him the ball in different ways.
Yeah, he's a big part of that total yardage for West Holmes, 213 of them, 63 coming in the pass game. They're finding him out of the backfield. A lot of those 150 rush yards, of course, belong to Sam. And you look over on the other side, not a lot of passing yards really for either unit here tonight. We thought it would be a run-heavy game. So far it is, and look for that probably to continue in the second half, Travis.
Yeah, and one of the stats that stood out to me as we kick off the second half, West Holmes was only 3 of 9 on third down, but 3 of 3 on fourth down. So, Coach Gardner rolling the dice and getting it is holy name. A huge return to start the second half. I'll get it back to you guys to start this.
All right, appreciate you, Travis. Flag comes in late. Eric Jones Jr. right now with a return inside of enemy territory. This kid at different times during the game has showed a nice burst. And here he is. Look at that mix of guys. Not sure how he escapes out of there, but he does. And then this is going to be maybe a face mask was called. It didn't necessarily look like Walker Graham got a hold of the mask.
But he might have got inside of the helmet. Anytime you grab inside the helmet, doesn't necessarily have to be the face mask. They can still technically mark that as a face mask penalty, and I think that's what happened. They grabbed a hold of the inside of the helmet and pulled him down. So that's going to add some extra yardage and set up Holy Name deep inside West Holmes territory.
That's the one facet so far of tonight's ball game where West Holmes hurting themselves, got a lot of penalty yardage. As it's going to set up the green wave. Excellent field position here, but a big tackle in the backfield. Nowhere to go for Javon Williams, and how about the stick coming through for the tackle?
Absolutely, and Javon Williams had a seam, it seems like, but it closed very, very quickly, and we've talked a lot tonight about Walker Graham. He has been all over the field defensively, playing that right defensive end slot, but he has played well in containing ever since that first long drive. Javon Williams has had trouble running out of the backfield.
He'll swing it out to his backfield mate here. It's Sanchez. Gang tackling happening yet again. Elijah Baldridge, the leading tackler on this West Holmes team, haven't called his number much tonight. Well over 200 tackles on the season entering this contest. Comes up to help make the stop there, and it's third down.
Well, Holy Name started this drive with great field position, but the West Holmes defense has really stepped up here on first and second down, forcing this third and long, and has got the green wave in a position they do not want to be in, an obvious passing situation.
They've got them spread out, 2 wide receivers to each side. Sanchez comes here to the near side. The throw on the money. Wide open was Austin Wondolowski. And he's going to be inside of the 5-yard line, shaken up on the play. Huge third down conversion, though, for Holy Name. But they might have just lost one of their starters.
Wow. Just a really nice route, just a seam route, and great throw by Williams. And Wondolowski finds that hole right over top of the linebackers in front of Williams-Dixon, the safety. And hopefully he's okay, but he went down hard right inside the 5.
Super sharp route there, too, by Austin.
Absolutely.
Look at how quickly he burns up the field and gets open. It's just a 3-step drop. Boom, that back foot hits. The ball is out on the money. Perfect precision here on third down. And great to see Wondolowski up on his feet, over to the sideline, moving under his own weight.
And that was a read that something they saw, adjustment that they saw. They saw that there was some space because he got right over top of the linebackers. He got right over top of the linebackers and kind of slowed up before he got to the safeties and made that catch. And it looked like he could have gotten a stinger, possibly. Just came down wrong on that shoulder, and hopefully he'll be okay.
First and goal. Running to the right side and basically untouched Javon Williams. Coasting, green wave, breaking tide in the end zone.
Wow. Javon Williams, the same exact play he scored on earlier in this game, just kind of like a power sweep, student body right. And he found the seam and just exploded through that thing into the end zone. So great run, great vision by the quarterback. And as we talked about, he came into this game with just under 700 yards rushing. So certainly a threat to run, and he has shown his running ability. But one thing, Brian, too, we've seen a lot. They have used those passes, the short passes. That time it was a seam throw to open up the run attack, and they just have not been able to just power the ball. They've had to use the pass to open up the run, and it's worked so far for the Green Wave.
PAT does go through, trims the margin down to 3. as this is touchdown number 9 on the season for Williams on the ground. Great blocking up front and cashing in on the short fields. Holy Name, their fan base jacked up. Look at the student section. Love seeing the school spirit back.
That.
2020, what a weird year that was, man. 50% capacity or so for a lot of the games.
Right.
This is what football is all about, communities coming together
Absolutely.
to support their young people and let them know, hey, we got your back, we're going to be loud, we're going to be rowdy, and especially when it's your classmates out there, it's just a perfect dish. All of fun, Effie. I love football Friday nights, buddy.
Well, it's again in this part of the year. And plus you get a lot of the community comes because again, not every team is involved, as we can see from our Facebook feed. The teams that have played West Holmes are in the conference. They're supporting West Holmes, and they are here. So a lot of the communities from surrounding communities come to check out the team. So just great feeling all around.
Pritt with the fair catch called for. West Holmes with their first offensive drive here of the second half will begin at the 31-yard line. So we'll get a look here at the Eastern District Offensive Player of the Year, quarterback Noah Clark. And you know he had a phenomenal season, would have had to beat out his teammate Sam Williams-Dixon and all the success he's been having.
Right.
And here's the 2. They fake the exchange, and now they throw it out here on the perimeter. It's Shearer. He's out to the 40. 7-yard pickup on first down. Knights have done a much better job of winning early on first and second down than they were in their first couple of drives.
Oh, absolutely. And I think they've utilized Shearer really, really well here in this game so far.
Williams-Dixon tried to follow his blocks. Nothing ever formulated up front. But he does get just enough. And the chain gang on the move. Fresh set on the way for Clark and company. Ball's going to be knocked down. Incomplete. Holy Name defense able to create some havoc in the backfield that time.
Yeah, Mason Craycraft he read that play, the play action and the short pass. He got out, got his hands up as he saw the short pass coming, and that was a big play because they had it blocked well on the outside for Shearer.
2nd and 10 now. Man in motion is E-step. Clark loads up, guns it, looking for him. Garrett couldn't squeeze it. Incomplete. Bit of a dangerous pass. You don't see that often from Clark, but he put it basically where his guy had the best shot.
Well, and that time, Garrett Elias he made a great read on it, and he was able to come over and break that pass up. And like you said, Clark, he eyeballed it. He tried to put a lot of zip on that football. It just wasn't enough to beat the defensive back to the football.
Key 3rd down here early in the 3rd. Green Wave scored on their opening drive. Knights would love to answer. They're going to bring the heat to the Green Wave, and they're going to get home. Holy Name with the sack. Keyshawn Garner able to finally rip Noah Clark down to the turf.
And that was one of the first times, Brian, that we kind of saw a straight drop back from West Holmes, and that was more of the traditional drop back that you don't see from them. And again, the Green Wave defensive line was able to break free, get the sack, a big play on 3rd down, forcing the punt.
Marked down as a loss of 9. Punt comes out low, wobbly. Takes a hop into Green Wave territory. Out to the 44-yard line. One more look at the sack. How about the pressure coming off the edge there? Wondolowski, good to see him back out there contributing. And then cleaning up the play, Garner. From St. Francis Grade School.
St. Francis Grade School. How about that?
That is unique. You don't see too often.
I love that. I absolutely love that. That's a great confidence boost for Holy Name able to get their defense off the field, give their offense another opportunity after that quick score by Javon Williams. So right now, all of a sudden, West Holmes, who went into locker room with some momentum, now a little bit on their heels here.
Williams takes off, sprints right side, out in front of his own bench. Didn't pick up much, maybe a gain of 2.
And, you know, Javon Williams has really, you can tell the kid's got really good speed. You know, he takes a play that could have been easily been tackled for a loss, gets to the outside, picks up a couple on first down, avoiding that tackle for loss.
2nd and 9. They motion the man, they swing it out. Jones Jr., look at the speed. Down the near sideline. He's going to be pushed. Did it get across the pylon? The 2-yard line where he is marked out at. Gain of about 43 yards.
We're going to have a flag down here, and I'm pretty sure it's a hold. But we'll wait and see. We got a hold at about the 47-yard line. And I thought the receiver, Andrew Cole, with his block here, had his hands on the outside. Woo. That is a tough call. That is a tough call. But he did have his hands on the outside, but wow. Wow.
Negates an explosive play, and I'm not so sure after you watch that replay that Jones Jr. even stepped out of bounds. I believe that would have been a touchdown.
Right.
Take one more look here. There's the block that you're talking about.
Right. Well, and it's a, you know, for the officials, they kind of make that rule pretty easy. When you get the hands on the outside, it's an easy call. They could, you know, it's just a matter of whether they decide to throw the flag or not. So, you know, he did have the hands on the outside. Now, whether he was holding them or not is a different thing. So, tough call for the Green Wave. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Wipes out a huge play. Williams straight back. Thought that he'd try the middle of the field. Initially, it looked like he would find a seam. Closed up in a hurry. Baldridge came up to help make the stop.
Well, and I think the West Holmes defensive line has been doing a really good job at the point of attack of holding up the defensive linemen, and that's why pretty much inside the tackles, not a whole lot has happened. Christian Sanchez has had some success off tackle, but inside the tackles, nothing's been going. So that time they tried to sneak a quarterback draw with Javon Williams, and West Holmes defense too quick to the football and made a play on the quarterback.
Williams running out of time here.
Yeah, last time on third and long, if you remember, they threw that little seam route where the receiver was able to settle just behind the linebackers in front of the safeties, and I look for a similar type of concept here if they're going to put the ball in the air here on 3rd and 9.
Certainly expect this to be a passing situation here for Holy Name. Converted on their previous try.
And one thing that we've seen, and even though Javon Williams doesn't have a great passing percentage, but the coaches have put him in positions and given him swing passes and short throws because of the man coverage that West Holmes has been giving them. He's been able to complete passes at a high rate, which has been effective at opening up some lanes, some running lanes. So, you know, this is a passing situation, but they can throw some safe passes for Javon Williams here on 3rd down. But as this time, as you can see, West Holmes comes out with a too high safety look to protect against that type of throw.
It's a run all the way to the outside. The ball is loose. It's on the turf. West Holmes looked like initially they were going to have it.
Wow.
But he's marked down. I think if we see the replay, that's clearly going to be a fumble.
Well, he called him down. Now, you know, whether they recovered it or not, I don't know. But the fact to call him down, that ball is out and bouncing around.
Look, he goes for the hurdle here, takes a huge pop, and the ball, you can see, comes out behind him. So Javon shaken up good to see him back up off the turf.
Yeah, that's big.
Another missed fumble call.
Yeah.
Take one more look. Look behind number 8. The ball comes out.
Right.
It is clearly out when he's in the air.
Right. Ooh.
The punt unit is out on the turf for the Green Wave. They never indicated who recovered, so maybe Holy Name fell on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got a good-looking punt here. It's going to come to rest inside of the 5-yard line. West Holmes going to have a long field ahead of them. 24-21, they lead it. Third quarter of this Region 10 championship, and one more look at the big stick, and didn't see who was able to fall on top of it.
I think one of the Green Wave linemen was able to get on top of it, and I think that was the big thing. I don't think West Holmes was able to get on to grab it, which would have made it really interesting. Made that call really interesting. So, but right now the Knights are backed up inside their own 5-yard line, and this game is getting really interesting, Brian, to see how the offenses are trying to break free and sustain drives. It's been tough so far in the second half.
From the slot, Williams Dixon motions into the backfield, gets the give. But he might have even lost a half yard on that one. And we're talking about a Green Wave defense that over the last this 4-game win streak they've been on, allowing just 7 points per game entering tonight. So defense has been the name of the game for Holy Name. Offense hadn't had to do much during the postseason. They'll run it again. Shearer this time able to pick up 3. So 3rd down 7 will be the situation for the Knights offense. And big chance here for the defensive unit of the Green Wave. Try to get their offense back with the football.
Well, and that's why, field position is so vital. That, that punt was huge because now it forces you to be a little bit more conservative inside your own 5-yard line.
Loading up, pulling the clip. Williams Dixon, did he make the catch? Wow, I believe he brought it in at the 45. Is this kid versatile or what?
You gotta be kidding me.
Double covered, shakes it off.
You gotta be kidding me. I mean, that football had eyes, and 2 Green Wave defenders were there. It's like they were watching the football, and that ball had eyes, and Williams Dixon just goes up casually, grabs the football and away from 2 other defenders. It's nothing.
Everything looks mild-mannered and casual
right
when 24 makes a play. Here he is in motion. Shearer makes a jump cut. Is able to shake away from the first would-be tackler. Picked up about 4. And this is what I meant by be multiple. Change up your looks. It's great to get 24 the football whenever you can, but at the same time, you got to be able to have other guys beat you so they can't totally key on your playmakers.
Well, the great thing is, and what they do, and their staff, they're great at it. Even if they don't get him the football, it's always a fake to him, or they fake the pass to him, or fake a pitch to him. So even if he doesn't carry the football, the threat of him getting it is always there.
This time they bring him in as a blocker. He's going to break out of the backfield, sets a block on the edge. Clark racing across the 30. Nice decision there to break the pocket and turn a nice gain out of the scramble.
And guess who was there to spring his quarterback for the first down?
That's right.
Get the first down. Williams Dixon picks up a great block that time on the outside. So
2 big blocks.
Yeah, absolutely.
1st and 10 inside the 30 now. And they'll toss it to Williams Dixon. Met right at the line of scrimmage. Just a big collision here of bodies. Boom.
Connor Prizewell that time just came up, beat his man, and again squared up Williams-Dixon, which has not been easy tonight for any of the defenders, but squared him up and made a solid hit right there at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
There's Jones Jr. matched up with Pritt on the outside. One-on-one here. 3 receivers up to the top. He looks left, comes back right, and they've got it set up for Shearer. Here's Shearer, makes a cut. Slung down right about the 10-yard line. Another nice pickup for the Knights. Give them 19 yards on the gain.
And Brett Shearer is having a great night running the football, catching the football. Great job selling the screen by Noah Clark. He drove the defensive backs back and made a nice throw to to his running back that time, who's able to find a hole and get upfield to get inside the 10-yard line.
25th catch of the season for him. Williams-Dixon looked like he was going to jump cut out to the left side, brings it all the way back, throws a stiff arm, but forced out of bounds. Jones Jr. did a nice job of getting off his block and making sure Williams-Dixon did not cut it back up into the end zone.
And right now you can see a lot of the tempo starting to wear on Holy Name's defensive front. It's tough to keep up with this fast-paced offense and having to keep chasing around Williams-Dixon. The quarterback runs, a lot of east to west running, and that's starting to wear on the Green Wave defensive front.
Walker Graham with the snap. Clark throws it. Got an open receiver. It's E-step, and he hauls it in. Hold the phone. Penalty flags out on the field.
Wow.
I think they're calling this illegal formation.
Lineman downfield. Wow.
It'll wipe out the 6 points by E-step.
Sometimes the formation makes a guy who's even though he's a receiver, if he's covered up, he's technically a lineman, and that time I think it was just an illegal formation. And one of the receivers that was covered up went out for a pass. And, again, you play with this tempo, and it has great benefits. It really does. But sometimes, it can cost you when you're trying to play a little bit faster than the defenses can line up.
3:03 to go in the third quarter. A trip to the state Final Four on the line. Clark brings Williams-Dixon in motion. Another flag, false start. Back-to-back penalties now against West Holmes.
Yeah, that's tough. Hard penalties, and especially the illegal motion, and sometimes when you're doing a lot of moving and motioning, your focus has to be turned up as a player. Really, especially when you get down inside the red zone, and West Holmes just losing a bit of their focus right now.
9 penalties now against the Knights. Backs them up outside the 15. Clark fakes left, comes back right side. They've got the screen set up. Again, it's Shearer. Tackled down low as he falls inside the 10. Getting back basically all that penalty yardage.
And Noah Clark has done a great job setting up screens, and he does a great job of drifting back and taking the defense one way with his eyes and coming back and finding his receiver. That time, Green Wave, though, they've done a better job than they had been coming up and making the play, keeping Shearer out of the end zone that time.
Empty set. Clark looking to the end zone. Now he rolls out, got to lob it to Williams-Dixon. He's going to take it in for the third time tonight. Knights get the 6 points back.
Wow. So is there anything this kid can't do? I mean, I suppose we got to see him throw a touchdown pass tonight and anything else, but he's wide open. So clearly a defensive mix-up by the Green Wave to leave him unattended, but nonetheless another touchdown for the star running back. And talk about a difference maker, right?
The sophomore with his 36th score of the season continues to add on to his single season mark, breaking the record tonight for West Holmes, overtaking Lane Perrone, who had 34 back in 2012. Part of a great backfield that season.
Mm-hmm. Well, the rushing attack for West Holmes, and I can remember the days, coaching football, and actually I guess not too long ago against West Holmes, it was always a strong running attack, not very open offense. They used to run power I and power running attack now, but to watch them now, they have totally evolved into a spread out team, and you tend to do that when you've got a bona fide superstar and a great high school talent on your team. So again, great recognition by the Knights offensive staff. I think what they've done offensively is just as impressive. The different formations, the different ways they get the ball to their star, and the way they utilize their other talent. Brett Shearer has had a great night tonight. When all the attention goes to William Dixon, he always seems to make big plays during the drive to keep the drive alive. So great job by him as well, taking the load off and also being a really effective weapon for this offense.
Ginsburg angles the kick to the near sideline. It'll go out of bounds there. Green Wave, it's your turn now on offense. Now down by 10.
So right now, if I'm the Green Wave, I'm saying, look, we have got to, this drive, we want to make sure that, we establish, of course, we're going to establish the run with Christian Sanchez and our quarterback, but also we've got to loosen up, take some of those short throws. Eric Jones Jr. has shown the ability to take short throws and make big plays. So if they've got to get the ball into the hands of their star players. They've got to loosen up this defense, because just lining up and trying to rush the ball against them is going to be tough at this point.
Williams-Dixon, the deep safety, as Jones Jr. comes across the formation. They'll sling it out to him. And he makes a move. Jones Jr. again with the acceleration into enemy territory. No flags this time.
Well, I love the call. This is what the Green Wave, this is what they have to do. As strong as their rushing attack is, this is going to be the key if they want to get back into this football game. Those short throws and taking advantage of getting the ball to the perimeter and then mixing in the run. And we've seen them make those type of throws, and then the next play, the inside is open for a big run. So that's the key. If they can continue to make those short throws and make big gains, that will open things up for this offense.
34 yards on the catch and run, all of that of the yak variety. This time Williams to the edge, and he's got enough for another first down. So back-to-back plays. Going to move the chains here, and the Green Wave very quickly knocking on the door here, looking to answer the touchdown by the Knights.
Absolutely. Good to see Javon Williams back on the field after, he was a little gimpy after that last play, but good to see him looking to be back at full strength after that nice first down run.
He's got Sanchez on his right hip. He's got the call, left side. Barrels forward. Williams-Dixon with the tackle, upending him, but not until he picks up yet another first down. 3 plays, and the Chain Gang pack on the move.
Absolutely. That is big-time plays, and, like we've been saying, Brian, all made possible because of the short passing game, loosens up the defense, and now your running game has a little bit more room to operate.
Big mess of bodies at the 9-yard line where Sanchez ends up on the turf. Short gain this time. Green Wave can pick up a first down inside of the 2. And they're looking at a 2nd down and 9.
And this is a spot, Brian, especially closer to the left hash, where we've seen that power sweep by the quarterback run.
Sure.
And where Christian Sanchez has been the lead back. Let's see what they come with.
That's the look, roll out, the lob to the back of the end zone. Too tall for Jones Jr. Couldn't get both hands up to try to squeeze that in for a touchdown.
But I absolutely love the call. Did you see the look, though? It looked just like the power sweep, trying to get the defense to come up and commit. We're going to throw over the top, but just a little bit too far that time for Eric Jones Jr. But great concept of trying to sell that power sweep run. Just couldn't connect.
Third down. Back to pass, Williams. Quick throw, Jones Jr. into a mess of defenders. No gain on the play.
And again, you know, one of the things they did, I thought they played right into the Knights' hands by bringing the ball back to the middle of the field. And, you know, we've talked a lot tonight about Walker Graham. He has been all over the field. He plugged that play right in the middle, and hopefully we've got a Green Wave player down. Is that Eric? That's Eric Jones Jr. And
it is. He's going to be a little gimpy getting off the field, and while they attend to the injured player, a bit of a stunning score right now over at Arlen Field in Mansfield. Green has just taken the lead over Massillon 19-14 midway through the third. Your cousin scoring the touchdown.
Sweet.
Trey Martin into the end zone.
Sweet.
Just one here. So that would be, I would consider probably a pretty big upset, even though the Tigers just the number 4 seed in the tournament. And Green, the number 7. Crispy fall evening here in Canal Fulton. And a huge play on the way. 4th down. They can move the sticks inside the 2-yard line. Williams steps, throws, broken up. Williams sticks it in on the play. E-Step had the coverage.
Nice coverage that time, and you know, interesting call. I think I understand, but you know, to go to a concept where you have a seam route on both sides on the goal line, something that you haven't really went to tonight. You know, I would have loved to seen them try that power sweep, but that is great coverage. And you see the safety, Williams Dixon, coming in. He's all over that. He's just reading the eyes of the quarterback. And that would have been a tough one to catch, even if he was open at the time. So great defensive stand by the Knights.
Could be the last play here of the third quarter. And it's going to be a run straight ahead. Williams Dixon out across the 15, and that will take us to the end of the third. West Holmes looking to get to the state Final Four for the first time in program history. They're just 12 minutes away.
Since 1974, Simonson has helped their clients stay on target to meet the goals and deadlines for their projects. From concept to completion, Simonson can design a plan and build a path for success. Let Simonson Construction turn that vision into a reality. James One Incorporated, providing innovative workshops and training for school districts throughout Ohio. We specialize in the areas of cultural awareness and sensitivity, dangers of teen substance abuse, and more. Call today and schedule your first session. First in promoting excellence through quality professional development.
West Holmes has a 10-point lead as we open up fourth quarter action. What a performance, folks, that we have seen tonight from one Sam Williams-Dixon, the kid wearing the baby blue, number 24 out there in the white helmet, Effie. Phenomenal so far.
Absolutely. 20 carries, 123 yards, 2 rushing TDs. He's got 91 yards receiving and another passing reception. 3 touchdowns on the night for that young man, and still carrying the football. His night is certainly not over.
He's Effie James. I'm Brian Skoronsky. Northwest High School in Canal Fulton. Regional championship here tonight. D3 Region 10. West Holmes has been to this point 3 other times in school history, never been able to advance to a state Final Four. Looking to go to 14-0 with a victory here tonight. So that's just a beautiful shot of another guy getting a beautiful shot. That's how we do. This is how he do. Look at the jump cut. And 2 hands on the football with the contact. Williams Dixon. 3 carries here on this drive. Gets them out from under the shadow of their own goalposts. And the Knights, brand new set of downs.
Well, again, Williams Dixon has been able to find the holes, find the creases, and the ability, as you called it, the jump cut that time, to find the open space and fall forward for the first down. West Holmes offense right now, as we've seen so much tempo now, playing a little bit more conservatively, working the clock here in the fourth quarter.
Look at the diagonal cut there by Dixon. Could have been hit at the line of scrimmage. Just too much wiggle in those shoes.
Every time he sees Dave, the fans from that school,
and 8 more yards.
He's going to go the distance. That's a sign of a guy who has done it a lot. Williams Dixon all year.
Right now, for the Green Wave, what they've got to do defensively, they've got to find a way. Defensively, they've got to make some adjustments here to plug those running lanes, and you've got to force Noah Clark to throw the football and make it tough for the West Holmes Knights to do what they're accustomed to doing, which is this right here, running the football.
Straight ahead this time, Brett Shearer finding space at a premium that time. Green Wave clogged the hole, no gain, might have even lost a half a football length. 3rd down on the way here for the West Holmes Knights. Need a couple to keep the drive alive. Shearer, the lead blocker, straight ahead. Williams Dixon, tough running, stretching out real close to the sticks.
This will be an interesting decision here. They have went for it on 4th down, been successful on all their 4th down tries. Big point in the football game, but they're going to keep their offense on the field and go.
Less than a yard is what they need, and they are going to pull the trigger with Williams Dixon. Spins his way forward. The initial contact looked like he was going to be stopped with Sinagra coming up to lay the lick. But that man just knows how to contort his body and kept it moving.
Yeah, like you said, William Dixon very rarely takes a solid hit, and he's able to turn and fall forward for the first down.
Getting the fans pumped up here on the home side, the number 2 seed here in the region. Trying to give the student section an early Christmas here in November. They're all suited up, and I've been against it basically for my entire life, 36 years on this planet, Effie, but I'm starting to find the Christmas spirit earlier and earlier. I think I'm just going to give in and just say, what the heck,
You might as well.
'Tis the season, right?
You might as well. You might as well. At least you don't live in my house. I think my wife puts up about 7 Christmas trees. And there's lights in every single room in the house. So if I wasn't in the Christmas spirit, it's too bad, because we've got trees and lights all over my house at this point.
No tree for me yet. Lights are up, decorations are up. Movies are on for sure during the day.
Right.
The Hallmark Channel, always on repeat.
Oh, yeah. We've been doing that since July. You don't know about Christmas. I know all about Christmas in July, buddy.
West Holmes 4 for 4 on 4th down conversions tonight, Effie. That's how you can change the game.
Absolutely.
And put yourself ahead.
Absolutely. Great execution on 4th down. And right now, here in the 4th quarter, under 9 minutes to play, this is your offensive line's time. This is their time to close out the game, control the clock, and pound the football here. And at the end, if you get points, great. But the bigger agenda is to run clock right now.
That they'll do here, and not much more. Nice pursuit that time by the linebackers. Got the push. Williams Dixon this time couldn't find any type of a seam to shimmy shake through.
Here it's 2nd down. It's always interesting, Brian, when I see teams that are used to playing fast now having to conserve clock. It just looks so different. It's almost like they're itching to get the play going, but they're trying to keep themselves held back here. Right now the play clock's just now under 10 seconds, and that rarely happens with the West Holmes offense.
Clark sends a man in motion. It's E-step. He's going to step back and throw, looking for him. He got the grab, forced out of bounds. The clock will stop. And it's a pickup of 6. So it's going to make it a 3rd down, about 4 yards, more manageable for the offense. And just trying to keep the Green Wave defense guessing a little bit.
Exactly. And, you know, one of the things that happens when you're trying to bleed clock is, you know, defense keys in on the run, which leaves a lot of throwing lanes. And that time, Noah Clark done a great job stepping into that short out route and connecting for a 6-yard gain.
The clock actually continued to roll. And rolling out to the right side, but finding some pressure. Noah Clark right into the face that time of Austin Wondolowski.
Great play that time by Wondolowski, who was able to, again, beat the back who was trying to get pass protection. He kind of swim moved him and makes a big play on the quarterback. So great defensive play that time, and a big play for the Holy Name defense, and forces the punt.
14-0 would have a nice ring to it if you're a West Holmes fan. But I'm not much for the happy endings. I kind of like the drama, Effie.
Yeah.
If you are going to earn it, you better earn it.
That's right.
And the Green Wave going to have excellent field position here. Be exciting to see if they can put a little pressure on, put together a nice offensive possession here.
Well, they're certainly capable, and I think some of the mistakes they've made here in the last drive have kind of set them back. But they are capable of putting points on the board. We've seen big plays from their quarterback, Javon Williams, a couple plays by Eric Jones Jr., Christian Sanchez. These guys are capable of making plays offensively, but they've just got to avoid the mistakes that have shut down their drives. You know, the turnovers, the fumbles. Last drive, I think it was just a poor snap. So, you know, they've just got to stay away from the mistakes and maintain a drive here.
Timeout's going to get burned here by the Green Wave. Those could be valuable down the stretch.
Yeah, that cannot be what they wanted.
We'll go ahead and take the timeout with them.
I see Chardon all over Dover, 31-3. That's late in the fourth quarter. Sean Carr with a 3-yard touchdown run, putting a little icing on the cake there. They're almost to a running clock situation. So whoever moves on from this contest going to be going head-to-head with Chardon in the state Final Four. That we know for sure. Who it's going to be here, still up in the air. Green Wave got a first down, and with a timeout, should get in a play that they like.
Interesting call. I'm sure they didn't want to have to take that timeout there. They want to be able to hold on them down to 2 scores. But like you said, you want to make sure they get the best play. You want to hope they get the best play here on first down.
No one goes with the motion man. They'll fake it to him. And then the decision to break the pocket, not a wise one for Javon Williams. Coverage was there, and the hole shrunk up in a hurry.
Well, they were trying to fake the bubble screen to Eric Jones and try to get the safeties to come down. In the meantime, they had number 35, Andrew Scheiben, running down the seam, but the West Holmes safety, Williams Dixon, was able to stay with his man and cover him up, so there was nowhere to go with the football.
Williams short hops that throw as the crowd getting real noisy here on the West Holmes side. Starting to feel it. 5:46 away from punching their ticket to the Final Four with the first ever regional championship. Look at everybody up on their feet. This is what playoff football is all about. Absolutely. Millersburg in the house here. Williams again to the air. Incomplete. Jones Jr. went down to the turf. Could not pull it up in time.
Yeah, this is just Javon Williams out of his element, having to throw every down. Just not comfortable with that. Brings up 4th down, and again, you would think is a passing situation here. So that plays into the defense's hands.
Green Wave look over to the sideline. They are going to roll with the play call. Knights just rushed 3. Couple of nice pancakes out there as Williams trying to escape, cuts it upfield, reaching for it, but he's going to be about a half-yard shy. Knights are going to take over.
Wow. Great effort by Javon Williams there on that run. He had nowhere to go with the football. West Holmes in a 2-deep safety look, had everybody covered downfield. So just nowhere to go. He gave a great effort, came up about a half-yard short of the 1st down, and this is just a great effort by the young man, and just a half-yard short, keeping that drive alive.
Blake McCombs with the stop. Knights open up shop offensively. From the 49 in enemy territory here. The clock, their friend right now, of course, as it continues to roll. Williams-Dixon goes left side. Fought for extra yardage down to the bottom of that pile, it seems. Got 3 on the play.
Well, at some point, they're going to force the Green Wave to start burning those timeouts, and that's what made that one timeout a little bit tough to take early in the drive. But again, this is about your offensive line and coming off the ball, getting positive yardage, trying to stay ahead of the sticks for the Knights.
Clark from the gun, pitches it. Williams-Dixon out of bounds here on the near sideline. Nick Hussera with the defense. Flag on the field, though, back in the secondary.
But we're going to have a flag. That time is Colin Gardner, I believe. Just a late push there at the end. It's going to be a personal foul on the Knights. He pushed a guy late after the play was over. Again, those are mistakes that you just don't want to have. You want to finish the game clean, is what my old coach used to say. Finish the game clean, no mistakes. That time Williams-Dixon ran out of bounds. Another somewhat of a mistake. You want to keep the clock running, but you want to be clean here at this time if you're the Knights.
It's one thing they haven't done tonight. Double-digit flags against West Holmes now. That's their 10th.
Yeah, and see down the line, and if they're able to hang on and win this game, those penalties will absolutely kill them next week.
Empty set, Noah Clark running right into a swarm. Connor Parisel there for the sack. West Holmes going backwards now.
Right.
See Parisel bringing him up from the top. Wondolowski had him down low. And that's a quick drive for West Holmes that actually started on Holy Name's side of the field. Backtracks all the way to their own 32.
Well, Coach Zach Gardy a little bit frustrated with how his team is closing this game out, and a lot of mistakes, penalties, just errors being made while you're trying to close out this team. But as long as you continue to give them life, there's always a chance, especially if this guy's got his hands on the football.
From the 27, Jones Jr. always seems to be moving in a positive direction. So he's got a decent return. Flag down, though, at the 35.
Yeah, I think we're going to get an illegal block on the back. Keyshawn Gardner, I think he was trying to free up Eric Jones, and I think he had a block in the back here on that punt return.
Wipes out the return. Going to set this drive back. And Holy Name starting to run out of chances here. 3:49 to go. Offense coming out on the field. That's really gone away from Christian Sanchez.
Right.
That was their big playmaker in the first half. And they've predominantly gone to the passing game, Effie. It's been surprising.
Well, and that was the thing. It was the mix of the short passes with the runs that had been good to them late in the second quarter and early in the third. But West Holmes defense has stepped up and forced them to be one-dimensional.
This time they do hand it off to him, but it's a bit of trickery. So the wide receiver reverse gets him a couple. It was Andrew Cole, the backup quarterback, taking a lot of reps under center this year, so certainly capable of pulling the clip and sending one downfield, but West Holmes defenders just got a little bit too deep on that one. 4 wide here to the near side. Williams rolling that way, looking downfield, floats it. Out of the reach. Wondolowski, the intended target. 3rd down coming up for the Green Wave.
You know, it's always interesting watching, primarily run teams, in this situation. It's tough. And trying to execute a game plan that you're just not prepared for. I've always been, I've always said, look, even in these situations, I know you don't like running the football, but you got just as good a chance as for Eric Jones Jr. or Christian Sanchez to break off a long run as you do as someone catching a long pass.
They will put it in the hands of Sanchez. Absolutely. And the bowling ball.
1st down.
Tumbles forward. Big gain there. Stick's going to move.
Well, and that's what I said. If you're looking for a big play, you have to be who you are, even in these situations. That's what you got to do. Run the football with Christian Sanchez and even your quarterback. You're going to have to throw the football, of course, but you don't have to just chuck it downfield every time. So great short pass that time on 1st and 10.
It's Wondolowski with the grab on the far sideline, pushed out of bounds after a pickup of 5. Most importantly, though, out of bounds. Clock stops. 2:48. And trailing by a couple of scores. Holy Name might have to start looking for some big plays.
Right.
Instead, they'll run it again. Sanchez left side.
Love it. I love those calls because in high school the clock stops to move the chains. You can get back on the ball and you can technically run a play without any time being moved off the clock if you're ready.
And that is such a risky proposition to take if you're Coach Wondolowski.
Green Wave allowing some time to bleed off of the clock, though. Now they take the snap, fake it, and Williams wants to take off. Looking for a block on the edge. Cuts back inside. He's going to get to the 45. Only 5 yards picked up there.
Discipline of West Holmes. That time Elijah Baldridge set the edge, and he would not let the quarterback get out of bounds. He knew he was trying to get out of bounds, and he done a great job of putting his back to the sideline, making sure that Javon Williams had to cut back into the inside, keeping the clock running.
Javon steps up in the pocket this time, almost intercepted. Knight secondary has a ton of INTs this year, 39 total takeaways entering today. Almost came up with the game winner right there from Kaufman. Flag, though, way back at the 48. Appears to be going against Holy Name.
Yeah, it's going to be a hold against Holy Name, and that penalty hurts as you're trying to try to get any kind of positive yards for a score. Now under 2 minutes to go, it's getting short what you can do here. Down 2 scores.
With 1:52 on the clock, Sanchez, the lone back. Williams looking for anybody. Now the pocket collapses. And the West Holmes team that had 42.5 sacks entering tonight got another one here. This defensive front gets after you. Absolutely. And how about the play of the middle linebacker yet again, Baldridge? has really made his presence felt in this second half.
Absolutely. Javon Williams is down again. He has taken some tough hits tonight, and the young man has fought hard for his team, but he has taken some tough hits, and he took another one on that play, and he's down again.
Getting his left leg evaluated, as he's just got 90 seconds to go here, so potentially might see Andrew Cole have to take over at quarterback. He's at least up and moving. Quick score for you guys. Port Clinton on top of Van Wert, 42-21 in D4 Region 14 Championship. Just 8 minutes remain in that one. Thank you, Brian, for that insider analysis there. See Charles Tom's watching. What's up, Coach? Third down. Cole. Now he'll rifle it downfield. Ton of traffic. He's going to get picked off. Kaufman stepped in the way this time. He secures it. West Holmes looks like they're going to be moving on to face the Hilltoppers in the state Final Four.
What a great game. Just a great game by West Holmes, and, you know, fittingly, this defense gets another takeaway, which they have done all year long. Just take the football away from teams, and this defense has played well, particularly here in the second half. And that pick is going to seal it, and West Holmes headed to the state Final Four.
Tucker Kaufman with his 9th interception of the season. Huge number. The home crowd letting them hear it. Everybody up on their feet. Hopefully somebody shut off the lights in Millersburg on their way out.
Absolutely. Well, you know, this is one of the teams. West Holmes is one of those teams, and we talked last week about it's just tough to vision a team that would just be able to wipe them off the field. You know, they are a tough team. It's going to take a really good team to knock them out. They are not. But one thing they can't do is make the mistakes they made tonight. A lot of penalties and mistakes they made at the semifinal level won't allow them to move on. But tonight, none of that matters. Tonight, they get the W.
The perfect season continues. West Holmes adding to their already school record, 14 victories in 2021, and still more to come as they are going to be crowned D3 Region 10 champions here tonight. Phenomenal performance by Sam Williams-Dixon. He is going to be our player of the game, presented by Frito Lay. Travis Berardi headed down onto the sideline right now to get an interview with that sensational sophomore as the Knights continue their season. What a transfer. Could you imagine being the coaching staff like, hey, well, welcome to the program.
Right. It's, you know, I know it's a Christmas season, but you talk about a gift. That is an absolute gift, a season-changing gift for the Knights. And, you know, and like I said, he played well, but sometimes it's more than just a superstar. This team has rallied around this young man. This coaching staff has put this team in positions to be successful. It has worked for them offensively and defensively. I was impressed with their defense in the second half as well to close this game out. But, you know, just a great all-around team win for West Holmes, and just great for the community of Millersburg to get a team into the Final Four.
West Holmes slaughtered Sylvania Southview in their tournament opener, 60-14. Knocked off Columbian, the defending region champions, 28-25, and a nail-biter in round two. Rocky River, no problem, 51-28. They beat them last week. Holy Name, the last team that stood in their way before a trip to the state Final Four. Mark it off the list, 31-21, the final here at Canal Fulton, as those are your champions of the region. We're going to step aside. We'll be back. Trophy presentation and an interview with our player of the game. Still on the way. Keep it here. The Killbuck Savings Bank postgame. We'll return in just a moment.
Man, what should I listen to on the OH Report today?
Dude, listen to the Friday Night Pigskin. You got highlights and scores from all around the area.
The OH Report podcast has more than just football.
No, listen to the Pigskin. The Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin. Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin.
Why not
Podcast.
both?
Pigskin.
Podcast. Podcast.
Dude, clean your ears out, man.
Bro, there's so much space in here.
Since 1974, Simonson has helped their clients stay on target to meet the goals and deadlines for their projects. From concept to completion, Simonson can design a plan and build a path for success. Let Simonson Construction turn that vision into a reality. James One Incorporated, providing innovative workshops and training for school districts throughout Ohio. We specialize in the areas of cultural awareness and sensitivity, dangers of teen substance abuse, and more. Call today and schedule your first session. First in promoting excellence through quality professional development.
West Holmes receiving their regional championship trophy, the first time ever that this program has felt this feeling right here. What an experience for the Knights, 14-0, and the best season in program history continues on. Brian Skoronsky along with Effie James here with you on the Killbuck Savings Bank postgame. Just an awesome sight here at Northwest High School in Canal Fulton. West Holmes taking care of business throughout the tournament. Such a complete team. Had a great opportunity to see them during the regular season on a few different occasions playing our OCC schools over in the greater Mansfield area. And we knew basically from the third week of the season this was about the most complete squad that we had in our area, Effie, and they continue to prove it. They put on a show here tonight. They have dynamic playmakers, but man, do they do a great job on offense of mixing it up. And on defense, these dudes were pretty sharp too.
Well, and like you said, their completeness as a team was the difference. You know, West Holmes has always had the tough players and the tough attitudes and the grinded out mentality. But this year they have got some really talented young men at quarterback, at running back. We saw another running back, and their defensive unit is very opportunistic in takeaway. So they have a great they have now combined the talent with the toughness, and what you get is a regional championship and an opportunity to play for the state title.
Here's the final stats of the night, brought to you by the Killbuck Savings Bank. 343 total yards for West Holmes. You gotta love the goose egg in the turnover column. 2 takeaways against the Green Wave for this opportunistic West Holmes defense. They cashed in 1 for a touchdown early in the game. The second one clinches it. Both of them pretty even with the rushing yards and the passing yards too. Not that far separated, Effie. The penalties, a little concerning if you're a West Holmes fan, the 10 of them. But they do just enough to get it done here tonight. They get the ball into the hands of their playmakers, and they get it done. That's what matters.
Well, and one thing they discovered is the many different ways they can get the ball to Williams-Dixon, and how they're going to have to expand on that as the video of this game gets out. Teams are going to be keying on him. So the more creative they can get with ways to get him the football, it's going to be better for them down the stretch. But 187, the pass yards, 156 pass yards were huge because they were all to basically set up the run. The rushing attack for the West Holmes Knights. So, again, great job all around. And both teams really played it. And we knew it was going to be a competitive ball game tonight regardless of the seeds. But West Holmes proved why they are undefeated. When it came winning time, they stepped up and executed. And that's what the winning teams and the championship teams do.
That's a look at Sam Williams-Dixon getting interviewed by some media pundits. Of those total yardage, he accounted for 240 of them, Effie.
Wow.
So they found him early. They got it to him often, but they line him up everywhere on the football field. You never quite know how he's going to receive the football.
Right.
So you got to give a ton of credit to the Eastern District Coach of the Year, Zach Gardner, in his 5th season. He and his staff, they got this playmaker joining their locker room at the beginning of the season, and boy, have we watched him blossom into such a great, gifted player.
Right.
Offensively, defensively, too, does a nice job from the safety spot.
Right. And I think it's, the credit, I've talked about it a little bit tonight, the credit that Coach Gardner deserves, and sometimes getting a superstar talent is not all, roses. Sometimes you can get a great talent and have trouble figuring out how to best utilize his talent, and they've done an outstanding job of utilizing him, not just lining him up in the backfield, handing it to him and saying, go be a star. They put him in positions to be successful, and also, which has opened up opportunities for other teammates. We saw Brett Shearer have a great game tonight. He had a great game rushing the football, caught a couple big screen passes to keep the drives going. So, he has opened up a whole lot for this football team, just being such a weapon offensively.
For the Green Wave, put a bow on their season at 7-6 overall, the number 8 seed, making a nice deep tournament run. Had to knock off the top seed in the region, Norton. Beat them 28-0 a couple of weeks ago. Defeated Parma Padawan last week for the 2nd time. Another member of the Great Lakes Conference. Beat them in week 1. Had to knock them off again in week number 13. And it appears that our Travis Berardi now, with the shining star from tonight, he's got Sam Williams-Dixon, our player of the game. Roll the intro.
Down here on the field with our Frito Lay MVP, Sam Williams-Dixon. I have to pull out the paper because he had so many yards. 28 carries, $149 on the ground, 2 touchdowns, 4 catches, 91 yards, and a touchdown. It just seemed like you did whatever you wanted to do tonight out on the field.
Yes, all the selflessness we have on this team is crazy.
First half, it was back and forth. Big play by them, big play by you guys. What was the adjustments made in the second half to really let you guys take control?
We just had to get hyped. That's all we had to do. We know what we had to do. We've been practicing all week. We know what we had to do.
Changing schools from last season, you had a big second half of the season at Loudonville, coming in, seeing what you guys had to offer with Noah Clark and the wide receivers. How excited were you to get onto this team, and how excited were you as a whole, knowing that you had a chance to do something special this year?
I knew we had talent. I knew we had hard workers on this team, so I just knew we were going to go far.
You head into a state semifinal, a state Final Four. What do you guys need to do to get the win next week to head to Canton?
We need to lock in all week, even through films and all that. We need to lock in.
And finally, a lot of people watching on the OH Report tonight, live and free. Any shout-outs to West Holmes Nation back home?
Hey, shout out to my mama, bro. I love you, Mom. I love you, baby.
All right, Sam Williams-Dixon, our Frito Lay MVP. Congratulations, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Back up to you guys.
All right, appreciate it, Travis. Appreciate the time from that gentleman right there. Sam Williams-Dixon puts on a show for us here tonight. Obviously a coveted interview. A man of few words, but many talents out there on the football field. He displayed basically all of them tonight, Effie. But the journey continues for West Holmes into a buzzsaw. They get the 3-time defending champions in the Hilltoppers of Chardon. And I imagine that the game planning this week is going to be at a maximum for Zach Gardner. That gentleman right there about to talk with our Travis Berardi. Let's send it down to him on the sideline. Trav?
Coach, first off, I just want to talk about beginning of the fourth quarter. You guys have the ball 4th and 1 in your own territory. Knowing you have a running back like Sam Williams-Dixon, how much easier did it make that decision to go for it?
Well, I mean, if you want to win a regional championship, you should be able to get 1 yard. So we're going to go for it. You know, we've made calls like that all year. We have trust in our kids, trust in our O-line, trust in Brett blocking, trust in Noah to get the snap and hand it off. And for Sam, exceptional young man, great play by the entire team.
147 on the ground, 91 through the air for Williams-Dixon tonight. We talked about him pregame, how he just completes the offense from last year. He showed out tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we're big-time players, make big plays in big games, and he's a exceptional young man and gets better with every snap, and we're excited to have him here for 2+ more years.
4th time's the charm. First regional championship for West Holmes. You're going to a state semifinal. How does that feel?
It means a lot to us. It means a ton to this program. You know, this feels like a culmination of 5 years of hard work for us from when we took the program over and rebuilt it up to this point. And we felt like we've gotten better every year. And 2018 we lost to Kenston. You know, we were tied with them with 5 minutes left in the game and had the ball, and they went on to win the state championship by running clock, everyone. So we felt we've been right here, ready to break through and compete for a state championship, and we're here. We're going to let the kids enjoy this tonight, but by no means are we finished. We're in this to win it all.
You guys get Chardon next week in a state semifinal. What's it going to take to get the win there, to get to Canton for a state championship?
I'm going to have to watch them on film, but I know they're the defending state champions, and if you want to be the state champions, you got to beat the state champions. So it's going to be a great measuring stick for our program, and we're going to, like I said, we're going to let the kids enjoy this tonight, but we're going to get back to work tomorrow and look to go compete for a state championship.
Well, congratulations, Coach. Go celebrate, and good luck next week.
Thank you.
West Holmes' first regional championship in school history. They're going to state Final Four. We'll send it up to you guys to wrap things up.
All right, thank you, Travis and Coach. And I love that he mentioned back in 2018, great season for West Holmes, 8-3. They lost in that first round of the playoffs, but to a team that went on to steamroll everybody after that, Effie. And how about the steps that they have taken over the last few years to continue to build the program? 3-7 the next year. They missed the postseason, but then last year 7-3. They win a trio of playoff games, and then this year taking it to a whole nother level, setting school records left and right.
Yeah, I like what Coach Gardner talked about, how when they came in and took over, they had to rebuild the team and rebuild the program. And it's one thing that I've talked a lot about is that there's a big difference between coaching a team and building a program, and what Coach Gardner's been able to do with this group. He's building his program. He's got his youth programs getting better, and you watch their freshman teams and their middle school teams that all play in the same league as the Mansfield area teams. They are all getting better. That means your program is getting better, and he's done a great job with that, and you can see he's going to reap the success at the high school level. So just a great job being done by him as he has built this program into the winner that it has become. And it is scary. I didn't know that, but I guess I didn't realize that, but the way he said 2+ more years, Williams-Dixon, that is scary, a scary thought for anybody having to play West Holmes here in the next year or two.
To think he's probably going to get a little bit stronger,
right?
A little bit faster, understand the playbook a little bit better.
Wow.
He already moves around pre-snap more than any player I think that I've watched so far this season.
Wow.
You never really know where he's going to line up when they do finally take the football back from center. So number 24, a special talent.
Wow.
You saw it all on display here on the OH Report tonight. Exciting atmosphere here in Canal Fulton. And West Holmes fans, guess what? You guys are moving on, and I think that we're going to try to continue the journey with you. We'll probably see you next week at the state Final Four. But for tonight, that's going to wrap up our coverage of the Region 10 championship game. Your final score one more time. It's West Holmes 31, Holy Name 21. And it was just a remarkable performance by Sam Williams-Dixon. We'll mention that for the final time tonight. I want to thank all of our incredible crew members for bringing you the action here tonight on camera. Down on the sideline, Storm Blunchley getting you those great up-close shots. Garrett Parlett running our top cam. Adam Thompson, our fabulous director, bringing you the audio mixing, the graphics, the scoreboard, all of that great stuff. And then our sponsors. Couldn't do it without you. The Killbuck Savings Bank, James 1 Inc., Frito Lay, Simonson Construction. Big thank you to all of those sponsors as well. We hope that you will go out and support them like they support your communities and your teams. I'm Brian Skronsky for Effie James, signing out tonight from Northwest High.